Just wonderful stuff, live from Maida Vale, some 200 miles away from where we are here in Salford Media City. That was Vic Godard and his amazing band. Hello, Vic.
Yeah, amazing band, aren't they? We've only just really got together today, but it's working good.
It's absolutely amazing, and we'll go through. When I asked you today who's in the lineup, when I rang you earlier, you said, "Well, who isn't?" And we'll get to that a little bit later. But we do need to say at this point in time, we had a running order for this tonight, so you didn't start with Up on Top.
Oh no, we explained it to Alex over there.
Yeah, it's all right. It didn't filter through.
The message didn't get through.
It didn't filter through this way. So
smack botty.
Absolutely, I'm going to come down there after the. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So the two songs that you've just done were.
Never Let a Poet Whisper in Your Ear and Oh Yeah Mama.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Okay, so we've dangled a carrot of talking about the band. Would you like to introduce them, presuming that you know all of the names?
Yeah, we've got Ian Holford on drums, then we've got Fritz Catlin on percussion, then we've got Kevin Harris on bass, Terry Edwards on trumpet, sax and flute. We've got Tim Penn on accordion. Guy Owens is on various duties. Well, actually, he's down as the road manager, but he turned up today after he'd just unloaded the van, so...
What, have you given him a tambourine? That's an old trick, that, you know.
No, he's doing all these shouting in the background, so it keeps us on our toes. And then we've got Simon Rivers on piano, and then we've got Neil Anderson on guitar.
Right, okay. And so when you say just doing a lot of shouting in the background, is that on his CV? Shouts a lot.
He does it down the studio, but he has to be coaxed. He's not someone who's easy to work with. He's not like... Johnny Britton is a tricky customer. I mean, me and Kevin have been producing an album for him.
Right.
He's the trickiest customer we've had yet, I reckon.
He's moody, isn't he? He's mean and moody.
Well, it's not that. It's just that he's difficult to get him in the recording booth. But when he does get in there, the results are, magical. So it's worth the effort.
Well, I think the Johnny, when they're looking for the next James Bond, I think he would be a good candidate.
Yeah, certainly would. Yeah,
definitely. So, and also, when we were talking earlier on today, you mentioned Tim, who's been playing with you tonight on accordion.
Yeah.
Has Tim got a microphone there?
Have you got a mic? Yes, he has. Yep.
Hello, Tim.
Yeah. Hello.
So it's right that the last time that you were in Maida Vale was 1974.
Sometime about 74, I would think. Yeah.
And you were playing in whose band?
Kevin Coyne's band.
Now this very, very close to being just an amazing coincidence, because we played Kevin Coyne, a session from the BBC just last week, but you weren't on it.
No, well, he went through quite a lot of people in his time in the band, so it was probably one of the later sessions with Andy Summers or an early one with just Gordon Smith.
Right, okay. Yeah, no, it was a full band job, but obviously you were missed. That's all I will say, Tim. You were missed on the occasion. Okay, that worked. All right, so Vic...
Yeah.
Before we go any further, and I keep saying that, but we need to get the pleasantries out of the way. How's your dad keeping? Because, it's rude not to ask.
Well, he's wonderful. I mean, he's a bit of a medical... They can't make it out, because he just keeps getting younger.
How old is he now, then?
He's nearly 103 now. But the thing is, we have a carer every day to come and wash him in the morning. But he has a day off, so... the carers that come on his day off, they don't maybe see me dad for 6 months at a time or a year at a time.
Right.
And every time the temporary carer comes in, they're just amazed. I mean, the other day we had one, he said, he washed him, he put his head out of the bathroom and said, "Where's his walking frame?" I said, "Oh, it's out in the garden." He said, "What's it doing out in there?" I said, "Well, he don't use it anymore. He only uses it when he goes up to the shed at the bottom of the garden." So
it's in the genes, mate. It's good hope for you, I'm telling you.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've had a bit of a rock and roll lifestyle that my dad didn't have,
Well, the strongest I've seen you drinking is cup of tea, which...
I do drink a lot of tea and coffee, but I'll tell you what, I have drastically cut down my smoking.
Good.
I'm on the old patches now.
Are you?
So I'm a big believer in patches.
Well, good. No, that is good news, mate. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not even being facetious.
They're so expensive, aren't they? I mean, if I was still smoking a packet of fags a day, it's like £100 a week now.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
A lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a good move, mate.
Yeah.
So,
and also, it's better if you're down the pub. instead of going out for a fag, you're not going to be able to do that, are you? So what you do, go down for a pint, and then you go out for a patch.
Do they have a patch garden at the back of the pub?
Yeah,
then?
that's what they should have, isn't it? Yeah.
Everybody, hey, do you want a patch? No, just put one out. Thanks, mate. Right, now let's get to the music.
Right, yep.
Okay, so the latest album, Everybody's Scared Now. Does that relate in some way to Nobody's Scared? Obviously, the early
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's got a quote. It does relate to the bookends. Nobody's scared, really.
Yeah, and so when you say everybody's scared now, what are they scared of?
Oh, us doing another session.
I thought it might get political then for a
No,
moment.
they are generally. There's a lot of frightened people out there. You just got to get on with it, haven't you? You can't really do that. You got to just ignore it all and get on with it, I think.
As best you can, yeah, of course. And of course, going down to Slovaks as well was a tune that we played on this programme, an awful lot actually, about a rogue chemist.
Well, he wasn't a chemist. He was a proper doctor, but he did get struck off. But he performed an amazing service to the people of West London.
Right, okay.
Should have been knighted.
Right, okay. Do you think there's going to be a blue plaque erected?
Well, Kevin knows what actually goes on in Slovak surgery now, isn't it? Some sort of community centre now, Kevin.
Yeah, it's under the Westway.
It's under the Westway. It's like a local community centre. So
all's well.
Yeah,
that ends
he hasn't. No, it's not. He hasn't got his blue plaque.
Right.
We'll be lobbying for that.
Right. Okay. Okay then. So you are incredibly busy at the moment, aren't you? You got 2 singles and a 10-inch album coming out.
Yeah, we're going to do both of them because we've got Up on Top, which we haven't done yet. That's coming out on a 10-inch single with tracks by The Long Decline, Johnny Britton, and Asbo Derrick. And Asbo Derrick's album is out. It's called Affordable Art. And then The Long Decline have done about 8 tracks for their album, and Johnny Britton's done about the same amount. So on the way, I've got our new album we're working on, and Long Decline and Johnny Britton.
And The Long Decline being Lee Gorney, an old friend of both of ours.
Lee Gorney is one of the best songwriters I've come across, I think.
Wow.
But I was working with him with Marc Perry, and that was difficult because he hasn't got any music ability at all. You know, you can't tell when he's out of tune and all that.
Who?
Lee.
Right, okay.
But
I thought you were talking about Marc Perry then for a moment. I thought, hang on a minute.
No, Mark's an expert, especially on the old pan flute type thing. He's very he plays anything.
Unlikely, but I believe you.
No, we did a great gig at the Amersham Arms once with Long Decline, where I was playing guitar and Mark was playing a sort of Andean pan flute thing. It really was good.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I will believe you, absolutely no doubt. I'm a massive fan of ATV and Marc Perry, so that's all great. Now, you haven't got any gigs lined up with this lineup, which is a real tragedy.
Well, I hope we can do one in London at least. It would be lovely, wouldn't it? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that
they're all nodding. So
I thought you were asking me then. I think it's a good. I think it's a good idea, but it's very easy for me to say. But if there is any promoters out there who are listening, and I'm sure there are, then pull your finger out and sort all this. But
we don't normally have promoters, though, Mark. It's normally just like get a gig, and then I sometimes sit on the door myself and take the money.
Right.
Not that I don't trust anyone, but
do you pay the rest of the band when you do that?
Yeah, of course I
Yeah,
do.
of course you do.
I don't pay myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need the money. You know me, Mark.
Yeah, independently wealthy.
Yeah. Well, through the post office and the pension system of Great Britain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't realise in America that they get terrible pensions out there. It's not like here, and also every time you go in hospital, it's like $1,000 out there.
No, I know, mate.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Yeah, we don't need that, do we?
No.
We don't. Okay, so, we also had a story to tell about your mouse hunt last night, but we've probably not got time.
Well, the thing is, it happens all the time to me. I'm like on mouse alert. It's a seasonal thing. I think it's when the new breed of mice come through.
Right.
My cats are really busy.
You're running around the house trying to chase them with a bow.
I am, yeah.
I'd pay to see that, to be honest. You could sit on the door. No, you couldn't sit on the door. You'd be chasing the mouse around the house. Okay, then. So we're going to get it right this time, then. Yeah. So we've got Vic Godard and his amazing band, and we have introduced them all. And you've got 2 more songs to do for us from Maida Vale. What are you going to do? You're going to do Up on Top eventually.
Up on Top now, and then we're going to do the new 7-inch single For Mankind, it's called.
Brilliant. Oh, well, always a real joy. So here we go, Vic Goddard,
cheers,
live
Mark.
in session. Thanks, guys.